No gold is not in her. She's a dime.
Welcome to another exciting edition of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
First, we got a little bit of bookkeeping work, or housekeeping work, I guess you would call it, to take care of. Guess what's going on the exciting $1 Million Peddlers eBay store?
I probably don't know.
We're up to 4 positives.
Nice. It's
And
double, right?
Doing well.
Nice.
Doing well. And we sold one of the magazines that I stole from you.
Which one?
Outdoor, something like that. It was just one of those oddball ones. Went for a whopping 99 cents, so we're rolling in it. Little bad news, though. The magazine about you and your old days, that OG magazine, you know, OG,
Oh, yeah.
never got paid for. So we put in for our money back through eBay. Very easy to do. They've got, I think, 4 days to pay from here, and then if not, then we get our fees back. So easy to do. Make sure that you always do that. I don't know why people bid on things and don't pay, but who knows? Who knows what his situation is, especially at this time. And then I've gotten, before we went on air, you were asking me a whole bunch of questions about the hat I'm wearing.
Yeah, no, my wife would say it doesn't match.
That would be absolutely true. What brand am I rocking here?
Oh, LL Cool J's Kango.
There you go. Got a lot of complaints about the my shiny head in the prior video, so figured to take care of it. But you're right, it absolutely does not match. I'm rocking the old school Kango along with, looks like it came out of a cave and leaned against the Adobe.
Yeah, it looks good on you, though.
Exactly. Looks like I leaned against an Adobe wall. And we got a couple of things here real quick that we ended up going to be putting on here. We got Information Week magazine. Don't have any idea if that's good or not. You've got a pile of them in the back, so we're going to give it a try. If it sells, there's more to come. Got this over here, Adult Student magazine. Figured I would take that. Any idea why I borrowed that one?
The Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yep. I don't know if you know it or not. They were actually in the news recently. There's a museum in Museum of the Bible over in Washington, D.C., and they allege that they had some of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Turns out they bought fakes.
Wow.
Oops. And I'm sure they didn't spend $1.380 on them. Spent a little more than that. And, oh, that's really nice.
nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. Zoo Berlin, and it's missing a little piece off the corner, but luckily we have it. So this is to the Berlin Zoo. So it's kind of interesting little item over here. People actually do buy, well, it's going to look goofy again, but people actually do buy these things from the various zoos. San Diego Zoo and all the various zoos. People do buy that. I'm sure you've had a lot of luck with them as well.
Sure.
You probably never listed this one because of the condition, but we will give it a try.
Take a chance. For 99 cents, it's still a bargain.
And then we have a video coming up where I talk about some of the mistakes that I've made throughout the times. And one of the mistakes that I talk about is having purchased too many of these. What are these, Mr. Magazine?
This would be a record pad cardboard insert, which I'm all out of, so I had to borrow some from Papergoy.
So it turns out my mistake works out well for him. Figure that one out. So how are your sales right now, Mr. Dash Magazine?
Surprisingly, extremely well right now. We're selling a lot of stuff.
Now, is that on eBay, Amazon, both?
They're both higher than normal. We would just say our best day of the year since January 1st after Christmas.
Wow, that's actually really good. I was taking a look at my numbers as well, and we'll just say the pandemic started about 3 weeks ago, I would say, is when they started doing all the stay-at-home orders and all that sort of thing. And year on year, eBay only, year on year, my sales are up about 35% during the pandemic.
Wow.
Which is actually very, very surprising as well. Might be the things we're selling now. Before we went on air, you were mentioning a couple of things about what you're finding is selling.
Yeah, a lot of toys, a lot of record albums, games, things that people are going to do at home now more so than normal.
Now, high price points, I expect.
Some lower stuff, we're selling lower end records, but we're selling a lot of them. So, it does add up. 30, 40 records a day adds up, whether it's $5, $10, but every little bit helps.
Right, yeah. Yeah, but I'm kind of finding the same thing. But part of that might be I'm not listing a lot of super high priced items at this point either. Now, if somebody out there's struggling, do you have any suggestions? I know you run sales and that sort of thing. Are you running any right now?
I do sales. I take offers. Promotions is another thing I do, which has helped me out just because I have so many items in inventory. We have a warehouse full of stuff that we got to move out. So I feel promotions definitely helped out.
Now, when you say promotions, are you talking promoted listings or?
Yeah, promoted listings. Yeah.
What? I guess I've used them before, and personally, I do not see much difference if you go from 1% to 2%, because if you go to your dashboard, you can see the number of impressions and all that sort of thing, and I stay pretty steady no matter what percentage I happen to be using. The same number of people seem to have it, so it just seems to me to be that if you're paying 1% or you're paying 2% and you have the same number of people seeing your item, you're just giving eBay more money is what I'm seeing. Have you tested out different numbers? Or?
Yeah, we tested out during the holiday season, and there's not much difference between 1 and 2%, or 2 and 3, or 4 and 5, but then there is a difference between, say, 1 and 10%. So if you want to, I have a lot of stuff like I have to move, so, I do it a little higher than maybe you would.
Right. Now, do you have any suggestions for what kind? Let's say I've got a Mickey Mantle rookie. Should I use promoted listings?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't. Anything high end, rare, unique. I would do it more towards cheaper, common stuff, things that are more competitive.
So, like just a regular copy of Fleetwood Mac Rumors, for example.
Yeah, I would do it on that. Sure, definitely.
Now, one thing that I do notice a lot when I'm scrolling through to buy things is various things like say K-cups for the Keurig. I tend to see those being something or other that it would be pretty good to use on, because there is a lot of competition, and there are people out there that they want 24 K-cups and they want to pay $14 for it, and that's just what they want. So if you're promoting, at least you're up near the top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I tend to see that being an area where it would be better to use it at.
Certainly things you have a lot of quantity of as well. I would go that way.
Now, how do you find the sales work for you?
For me, sales were great. Definitely having items on sale, taking offers definitely moves more product for me. And then I won't take a lower offer if something's on sale. Where if something's not on sale, I would take a lower offer on it. But it all depends on what it is.
Yeah, one of the things that now I do things differently than you, which is kind of the beauty of the channel. I hold 3 sales a year. Put everything on sale. I believe I do 30% off 3 times a year. I'm not certain when I'm going to be doing it this year, because with everything going on. And what I tend to find works for me on that is I do sell a lot of items, but it's a lot of lower priced items. And that's the crazy thing about it as well. You've got something for $15, you're down to what, $10.50, whatever that works out to. And then people are offering you $8 on it.
Right.
And you're taking a look at a lot of these things, and then it comes in, do I just want to move product and get cash flow? How long has it been sitting there? Do I think that other people are going to want the item? All that sort of stuff. And it's kind of the way that I feel on that. It's a good way to clear out a lot of deadwood. I know we've talked in the past about it, and it's kind of, when you've got a forest, you've got to cut out all the undergrowth, and that's kind of what I look at it as being part of, is you get rid of a lot of the low price stuff, get some cash coming in, and get rid of the deadwood. I mean, it's just kind of what you have to do. Some of it you didn't make any money on, some of it you make very little money on, some of it you don't make nearly the money you thought you would make on it. But I tend to find that to work out pretty well, because that gives me some extra cash to work with. Now, are you having any luck buying anything currently?
Right now, not much going on in that end. No one's buying. It's very hard to buy, so no opportunities at this point, really.
Now, one thing that I did notice, I went online to search, accidentally, I was going to type in a different site, and I hit estatesales.net, because it kind of pre-filled. And in states that have lockdown order, they're actually not even advertising actual estate sales. Now, you probably aren't supposed to have one anyway, but they're not even advertising them.
Yeah.
So the only ones that they have are those few estate sales that actually have where you bid on the stuff, and then you come pick it up later.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
the future's uncertain. So
definitely is. I know the flea market's supposed to start in a couple of weeks. I have a feeling they're not going to be starting.
No shot.
Yeah, Bottle Show is always middle of the month of April. Always good. They've got a lot of paper there. This year, I can't imagine that they will be open. And then the other question you come in, even if they are open, who's showing up as a dealer?
Right.
So it's a tough time. Now, one thing that happened, I do have a couple of people that I buy from online. I'm sure you probably do as well, some regulars.
Yeah.
And a couple of them have contacted me, reached out to me, and they're going to be mailing things to me. Hey, I've got these over here. Are you interested? And they're mailing them.
Oh, that's nice. Good.
Yeah, yeah. So at least I do have a little bit of inventory coming in. But what I'm finding, I'm sure you are as well, you haven't stopped listing, right?
No, absolutely not. We inventory overload, so we're not too concerned there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, same here, and we've got the video here that a lot of you have seen where I sourced close to home and I sourced to my garage. So, and we definitely could do one of those for Mr. Magazine as well. So hopefully your sales are doing well. So promoted listings, if you have some common items, are probably a pretty good thing to do. As you said, sales always work. Now, do you do sales across the board, or do you just pick categories? Or
At this point, I think I do sales and everything, but the sales depend. It ranges from 10% to 33%, depending on what the item is. So, some higher end things we don't put on sale, but most of our items are on sale.
Well, then another thing that you can do as well is you can organize by the longest they've been on.
Yeah.
So certainly you may want to sit there and you may want to say, not that you want to do a 50% off sale, but okay, hey, anything that's been on there for 6 years or more, half off,
Right.
just to move the stuff out, get it out the door and get some cash in, because it's just sitting there. And I guess my way of looking at it is, if nobody's wanted to pay me full price for 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, probably not a lot of people that want that item.
True.
So better to get rid of it. And now Amazon, you said, is also doing fairly well right
Yeah,
now?
extremely well. Yeah, a lot of items selling. Like I said, a lot of board games, records, things you can do at home. Toys for their kids and so forth. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that's helping us on Amazon is, well, I think there's two factors that are helping us. Number one, at least for a period of time there, Amazon wasn't accepting people's who were doing the FBA. They weren't accepting new submissions of FBA product. And the other thing is, at least for a period of time there, Amazon Prime, some of the things were 1 month shipping.
Ooh, that's brutal.
So here you are, you pay this extra money, you're in there to get 1 day shipping, and now you're up to 1 month shipping.
Yeah.
So, I can't ship things overnight, obviously, out to people, and neither can you.
Right.
But we can get them there in a few days, certainly within the parameters of what Amazon allows. So it's kind of taken away the Amazon Prime advantage, as well as the FBA advantage. So I think that's kind of helping us, and I think it's also moved people over to eBay to purchase stuff as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully your sales are doing well as well, and stay safe. That's the most important thing we can stress to you. This will be over at some point, and just stay safe through the whole thing. Practice social distancing, all that sort of stuff. And very good. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Thank you.